What's going on, guys? Alex here with 814 EDC, and today I'm ready to do my full review on the Kizer Raze. Now, the Raze is one I've been really looking forward to checking out. Of course, it's in via the Lefty passaround group as part of obviously like a bigger Kizer package. You guys have seen all the Kizer videos recently on the channel, but this is one I've been really looking forward to checking out because this is a New Breed EDC design. Mark over there at New Breed is, I think this is the first design I've checked out from him, but I follow him on Instagram and I've seen, some of his other designs that he has with Kubi, and they look awesome. He has a few OEM designs that he has, sold himself under New Breed EDC that look awesome. And I'd love to get my hands on, I think it's the wingspan, something like that. It's his most recent one. It looks really good. And when I saw this one was dropping with Kizer, it honestly kind of has like the same like skinny, cylindrical, sort of gentlemanly type of carry vibes as that one does. So this one was really, high on my list for checking out when I saw, Kevin throw it into the pass round for us. And I've really enjoyed my time with it. It's a great knife, very sort of elegant, but also like very, well built. Obviously it's a Kizer. You guys know what to expect from Kizer. And I've, again, been a pretty big fan of it. So without further ado, we're going to jump right into materials. You guys can see that this is rocking some beautiful gold titanium scales with blacked out hardware, blacked out milled titanium pocket clip, as well as a marbled carbon fiber inlay on both sides, which is nice. The inlay feels great. You cannot feel the transition at all. Kizer really knocked that out of the park. Then you have a opening hole as well as a front flipper here on this beautiful clip point style blade. It says Kizer, obviously. New Breed EDC, Raze, and this is an S45VN. I'm not typically a clip point fan, when it comes to blade shapes, but every once in a while it speaks to me, and this is definitely one of those that speaks to me. And I don't know if it's just because it just kind of goes with the overall aesthetic of the handle, and I think it's really a cool design in general. As far as internal milling, you have quite a bit here on the show scale side. Looks like not so much there on the liner lock side. Plenty of lock bar access on the liner lock, which is nice. Then you have a nice backspacer, nice and flush there as well. There are two other variations available. So you have this version, and it's cool. That's funny. There's 3 different variations of this knife, and they're all 3 at different price points. But you have this version. You also have a just plain Jane titanium with a leather inlay, which is cool, and then a stonewashed S45VN, and then a completely blacked out titanium, blacked out blade, blacked out titanium with an 80s camo carbon inlay, which is also really, really cool as well. So I'll leave a link in the description down below to White Mountain Knives. It looks like the plain Jane tie and leather version is available, as well as this one. The only one that's sold out as of me looking at this is the 80s in DLC or PVD. Give you guys some quick specs here. So overall length from tip to butt, we are at 8 inches on the nose. We have a blade length of 3.5 inches on the nose, a blade thickness of 0.118, obviously S45VN, handle length or a closed length of 4.5, and then it comes in weighing 3.7 ounces, which is really nice. And it feels just really good in the hand. It just has, there's every once in a while you pick up a knife and it just has that like good substantial feel to it where, yeah, it might not be the most, featherweight thing in the world, but it feels amazing. And it just has that little bit extra like, heaviness to it, but it makes you feel like you're holding on to something substantial in your hand. I don't know if that's just me that thinks that way, but that's kind of how I always think when I have a little bit heavier knives, but they just feel good in the hand. You can't really, tell that they are that much heavier. And by no stretch of the imagination is 3.7 ounces heavier. It's just kind of the way my brain thinks. But give you guys some quick size comparisons as we like to do here on the channel. Got the Spyderco Para 3 and the TRM Neutron 2. And as you guys can see, a good bit bigger than both of those knives. This is a 3.5-inch blade here on the Raze, where these are coming in around 3 inches. So you have about, a good 1/2 inch there. But just like to show that to you guys in case you're ever consider buying and want to compare them to maybe two knives you might have in the collection or have had in the collection before because of the popularity of them. But we're going to move on to action. Thumb flick works really good. The hole is, obviously pretty skinny. And then you do have to push your thumb down in there a little bit to get hold of it, but the D10 is just so snappy, so strong. No blade play. This thing is locked up really nice and tight. So thumb flick works really well. Reverse flick is money as well. Feels really, really nice. Just a great sounding, great feeling D10. Then of course you have the front flipper. Works very well as well. Nice tuned D10 for it. Then of course you have the liner lock action on the close. Drops to your thumb, one shake. Drops to your thumb, some micro shakes. Very, very smooth. Just feels great. I have fidgeted with this thing a ton. Probably out of all the Kizers I have in right now, this one has definitely had the most fidget time and probably the most pocket time. I've really enjoyed it. I think personally for me, my favorite variation would be probably the 80s camo carbon in black. And that's really kind of crazy for me because I usually, I like that variation of, other knives that have that specific variation, but I don't usually pick it for, first. The leather is kind of cool, although I'm not really much of a, I like obviously my leather takedown mat and stuff like that, but I'm not the biggest leather fan, so maybe I would have to feel that and see how that feels. But yeah, I mean, this version is so beautiful as well. Gold tie, obviously there with the carbon fiber. But yeah, the action kind of got off track there on the aesthetic of it. I'm sorry. The action is really good. Great D10, great flicks, great close. Just a really good feeling Kizer in my opinion. And it's one of the better feeling Kizers I've had. And you guys know how good Kizer usually is with their action. So really, really impressed with the action here on the Raze. Next up is Ergos. And you guys can already, pretty much can tell this is going to be a very comfortable knife to hold. I mean, just look at the handle. Like it's a really a really simple design. Just very nice and skinny, nice and just kind of cylindrical almost. Again, a very gentlemanly styled design. But for Ergos, you can get all four fingers on here really, really easily. Again, very, very comfortable, very, just easy to grasp onto. You do a little bit of milling here on the titanium, but it's not really causing, much of a difference in the way it holds in the hand. You just have a plain, pretty simple milled titanium clip that is nice and flat, no sharp edges, so it sits into the palm of your hand really well as well. Nice bit of jimping up there. It's kind of, I'd say like on it's medium size jimping, but like micro medium, if that makes sense. And you can obviously use this choke up point here to choke up a little bit more if you're, needing to do that. That feels really good in the hand. Again, you cannot feel the transitions here on the carbon fiber, which is really nice. Kizer killed that. And yeah, it's just a really comfortable, jimping up top with your thumb. You can land it out here if you're doing push cuts. I feel like there's no uncomfortable way of holding this knife. Pinch grip, works good. Get down there and open some Amazon packages. Yeah, I mean, not one bad thing to say about it. It's a very, very comfortable knife to hold, to carry, and to utilize as well. But next up is carry. Grab my hank here. Carries nice and deep in the pocket, even as far as milled clips go. I mean, you have a nice and deep in the pocket. I really like clips like this when it comes to milled clips. Like they're just simple, it's just nice and straight. It reminds me of a pen clip. So really like that. You just have a little bit of the butt sticking out of the back there. But as far as in pocket, I mean, guys, just you can guess how this knife carries. No flipper tab, no jimping, nothing like that to possibly catch your hand on. Sits in the pocket really well. I think I did carry this once in just my gym shorts, but it is finally like fall/winter weather here. It's been cold in the Western Pennsylvania area for the last week or so. So I've carried this with jeans. I'm finally able to get my jeans out. Jeans and boots and sweatshirts is pretty much what I live in the fall and winter, which is great because I'm able to carry a little bit more gear because I have the belt on, and it's just I feel like winter and fall is just like the best time for EDC carry. But it carries really well in jeans. I had no issues whatsoever. And again, it's, you know, nothing really too much to say about it besides the fact that it's just a good carry knife. So lastly is my final category, which is price point and would I recommend this knife. So the price point, like I mentioned earlier, there are 3 specific variations of this knife, and there are 3 different prices on it. So you have at the bottom, you have one at $169, which is the plain Jane titanium with the leather inlay. You have this one at $179, so $10 more. And then you have the DLC and camo carbon version at $189. So there's a $10 difference and a $10 difference, with the bottom and the top being a $20 difference. So I don't have an issue with that. I know DLC is a little bit more expensive. Camo carbon is also a little bit more expensive. So don't have an issue there. And really don't have an issue with, you know, maybe carbon fiber being a smidge more than leather. So I'm fine with the price point. And honestly, for what you're getting, I think $180 is fantastic. Use someone's code, get you 10% off at White Mountain, get you probably 18 bucks off. So it'll get you down to like $160, even better. If you guys caught my Zero video, you would have seen me talking about how I wasn't sure how it was priced at $230, because you're getting titanium and aluminum S45VN. You're getting carbon fiber and titanium with S45VN. How is there a, what, $50 price difference for essentially the same materials? I'm not really sure. So in the grand scheme of things, I think the Raze is a great value. You know, like I said, I think in one of the Kizer videos I did, Kizer really does a great job at like the $160 to $200 range when you're getting like S35VN, S45VN, camo carbon, titanium. Like they really do a great job there, and this is an excellent entry into that sort of, you know, area, I guess, or a catalog of them, or for them. You know, S45, again, with materials. S45VN, carbon fiber, titanium, milled clip, multiple ways of deploying the knife, great action, great ergos. Like this is all around a great knife. And, you know, Mark, if you're watching this still, hats off to you, man. I think this is a great design. Again, I would love, you know, in the future to check out some more of your stuff, because I like it from afar, and I think I would like it in my hands as well. But yeah, really, really good. And this is definitely a Kizer that I'm going to, you know, miss. And maybe in the future, I think it was a pretty, you know, good selling knife. Maybe they're going to come out with even a budget version of this would be really cool. Or maybe I'll keep my eye on the DLC and 80s camo carbon. I think that'd be a really cool variation to add to the collection. But yeah, I think it's a really good price knife. You know, for it being, I think that this, when you look at these two, I think that this would justify being more expensive than this, not backwards, if that makes sense. But all in all, really happy with the Raze. Really, really pleased with it. I think it's a great knife. And again, I'm definitely going to miss it once I send it off to the next person. But yeah, I'm going to wrap this up now, guys. That was my full review of the Kizer Knives Raze. Huge fan of it. Leave a comment down below if any of you guys have added it to your collection. But yeah, hope you guys have a great rest of your morning, evening, night, day, whenever you guys are watching this. And I'll talk to you in the next one. Peace.